And we're back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And today we're going to do another top 10 list. This is going to be different than my top 10 list that I do every month, because this list is going to talk about non-raid heroes, non-legendary heroes, heroes that are farmable. And if you're early on in the game or free to play, they're going to be more accessible. I just wanted to thank everyone on the last video. Thank you so much for all the likes. And I wanted to send a shout out to Steve, who says, I would like to see a top 10 list that does not include the legendary and raid characters, since many of the viewers and players of this game do not have all these high-end characters. All the characters we're going to talk about in this list are easily available in the shipments right here, either in the Cantina Battle Store, Guild Store, Squad Arena Store, Galactic War Store, or you can get them in the Cantina Battles and get them pretty quickly. It's pretty easy to get heroes out of the Cantina. Let's go to the first hero on the list, and the first hero on the list is Boba Fett. Now, I just want to say there are tons of heroes that are not on the list, but I'm going to only include heroes on the list that I have geared up and used and still enjoy using today. What I found is that when I first started playing this game, there were a couple heroes in the game, and I'm just going to throw out two examples, like Talia and Clone Wars Chewbacca, that I did level up quite a bit, and I found out that they were not that good later. But there are some heroes that I geared up and used, and then I found that they've been useful in many different parts of the game. For example, Boba Fett right here has a lot of good uses. One of them is that he's a scoundrel, so that means he's useful in the credit heist event. The credit heist event is very, very fruitful way of getting credits, anywhere from 2.5 million to 10 million. Seems like I average about 2.5 to 5 million. The highest I've ever gotten is 7.5 million. In theory, you can get 10 million credits. Happens a couple times a month, but you need scoundrels for the event. Boba Fett is a scoundrel. Now, his kit is very, very, very good. He has Death from Above AoE, which throws ability block. That is very good. The one that you target actually gets ability block for 2 turns. He can attack twice. He has this execute ability, which does a lot of damage based on how many positive and or negative effects there are on them. It gets rid of all of them, but it usually is a one-shot kill. It's very cool. Plus, he has this ability where he comes back from the dead. He revives, and he gets his health back, and he gets his bounty hero resolve. Plus, he bypass taunt when he has that resolve. This guy is like a baby version of Nihilus. Basically, the only reason why people are not using him today is because Nihilus is better, but they have a very similar kit, the way that they work. He is very good. I highly recommend him. He's very easy to get also. He's probably one of the first heroes that you can get right away from the Cantina Battle Store. Next on the list is Kylo Ren. Now, these first two heroes are dark side. Most of the heroes on this list that I'm going to recommend are actually light side. That's because of territory battles, and you really want to develop out as your light side heroes as much as possible. But the exception to the rules, perhaps, are Kylo Ren and Boba Fett. Now, Kylo Ren has an amazing kit. He's very strong, does tons of damage, and he's very resilient. Ragged Cut inflicts a lot of negative status effects. Lash Out gives AoE, and plus he gets Retribution. People won't want to attack him. His Outrage can stun and do tons and tons and tons of damage. And if you do Zeta off this Outrage, he gets protection back, which is very good. He is a very, very good hero. Plus, he is First Order. And I imagine with the movies coming out, that First Order is going to get buffs and or more synergies or new characters, or maybe Snoke will come. Who knows? I have no idea whatsoever. Next on the list is Beerus. Now, Beerus, I'm a little bit lukewarm on getting early on in the game, but I gotta say that I did get her early, mostly because she's a Jedi, and I needed Jedis to do some of the legendary events and unlock some of the mod challenges. She's very durable. She seems very good in Galactic War. She's probably the best healer in the game because her healing ability is an equalization and it bypasses health block. Plus, when she gets the Zeta on her unique ability, she basically is the anti-crit damage team. Very defensive counter type character. Got a lot of use out of her. I do recommend her. By herself, she doesn't do a lot of damage. She does have a soft cleanse ability where she gets rid of negative status effects on your team. Very strong. Used her for a long time. I think she's very good in the Galactic War. Rex. Now, Rex is the best free-to-play leader in the game. In fact, he's probably been the best leader in the game for about 18 months. Now, he's hard to get. It takes a long time because he comes in the guild token store. And so you can get maybe 5 shards there when he shows up in the guild token store. At the end of the video, we're going to go through those 4 shops. I'm going to tell you which ones I think are the best ones to farm first. Now, his leadership ability is really, really good because it's an anti-speed, anti-crit team. He gives tons of turn meter. Basically, during the middle, it says, in addition, whenever an ally suffers a critical hit, all clone allies, don't worry about that because you're probably going to use them with non-clone allies, 15 turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount. So when an AoE comes in and hits everybody on your team, all of your heroes on your team are going to get turn meter, 7.5% turn meter per each one of those that crits. So you multiply that 7.5 times 5, woo, well, that's 35% turn meter just automatically for everybody in your team. Plus he's going to get turn meter. Plus he can cleanse and give tenacity up. Plus he has turn meter removal on his basic attack, so he's useful in the pit raid. This guy's awesome. I'm going to say that this is hands down a viable leader today, even with Commander Luke Skywalker running around. He's the no-brainer. Got to get this guy right away. Spend all of your tokens in the guild token store to get Rex. Now, Akbar. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that Akbar is the most awesome thing ever, but you do need a fleet commander, and you have 2 choices in my opinion. You have Akbar and or Tarkin, and my suggestion is Akbar because he is a light side rebel, and he's also very easy to get, and his kit is useful in other parts of the game, including Galactic War and territory battles. By himself, though, he's very squishy and he doesn't do a lot of damage. He's got a cleanse, he's got the tactical genius, but mostly it's about his ship, and I do think that's one of the best ships out there. Tarkin might be a little bit better, but right now I'm favoring light side, and I'm siding with light sides just to keep everybody going in that direction because light side is what territory battles is currently about. Wedge and Biggs. Now, they go hand in hand. These guys are crazy. They are the epitome of damage, output. They are squishy. They have AoE. They give tons of boosts to rebels. They're viable today even as leadership. They're just nuts crazy. Wedge is so good, and Biggs goes hand in hand with them together. His leadership ability just boosts the offense for rebels. It's crazy. It's also useful in territory battles and in galactic wars because they're getting health back all the time. And they both have ships. In fact, Big Ship is probably the best ship in the game because it gets protection back every time that target lock shows up. And they're very easy to get. I would go for these guys right away. Wedge, you can start getting in the Cantina battles starting at 6-F. So you can get him pretty early on. It's called the Danger Zone for a reason. I love these guys. I use them all the time. They're very, very, very good. And it kind of goes into with Lando. Now, the reason why Lando made this list is that his AoE is ridiculously good. But more importantly than that, he is a scoundrel and a rebel. I mentioned earlier about Boba Fett being a scoundrel. That's very important for the credit heist. Lando kind of does double duty for scoundrel and rebel. I didn't regret ever boosting and leveling and gearing up Lando because of that. Plus, his double down is really, really good. Read this. Deal physical damage to all enemies. First of all, it does a lot of damage. This attack scores more than 1 critical hit, which it will because you're going to mod him correctly. Its cooldown is reset and deals 100% more damage on its next use. Basically, he does AoE, 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 and it does so much damage. And this is really good in territory battles. This is really good in Galactic War. And he's a scoundrel and a rebel. And his leadership ability is actually really good. It's actually pretty good. I like this guy a lot. Next on the list is Biggs, and we already talked about Biggs, and we're going to talk about where to farm him, but the idea here is to farm him in the Galactic War Star as opposed in the Cantina. It just seems like a better use of resources to farm him out of the Galactic War Star. Of course, he's really, really good with Wedge, and his ship is amazing. So it seems like this guy is fulfilling a lot of different roles. It's an efficient use of your resources. Highly, highly recommend Wedge and Biggs. Next on the list, we've got Princess Leia. Now, I'm a little bit more lukewarm around her. She's just basically a really good attacker. She has the dreaded triple attack with her hair trigger basic attack. She can go stealth, but more importantly that, she gives critical chance up to everybody on her team, and she gains back health. So a lot of people are using her in the last phase of the AAT tank raid. She's very useful there. I found her very useful in Galactic War and territory battles, and she's making a huge resurgence currently in the arena under Commander Luke Skywalker lead. No regrets in upgrading her. I'm just kind of lukewarm against just attackers. I like manipulation and other things as well. I kind of like my heroes to do more than one thing, but she's really solid. Lastly on this list is not a hero in particular, but it is an entire faction, and that is the Phoenix faction right here. Primarily, we're talking about Ezra Bridger. Now, all of these are really easy to farm except for Sabine, and you basically can just not do Sabine. But the other 5 of them are very good under a Hera lead, and they're also very, 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 very important and required later in the game if you want to unlock Thrawn and if you want to do well in Phase 5 of the territory battles. Ezra is a standalone character that works on Jedi teams and is very, very, very good. He's the best of the 6 right here. He's worth taking all the way up. But early in the game, all 5 of those heroes are very easy to get, and they're very good when they work together, and I wish I would have developed these guys out more. I'm playing catch-up on them right now, trying to get them upgraded so I can do better in the territory battles. I've got to develop them out more. But if I was starting the game over and I was starting new, I think I would have focused on Phoenix right from the beginning. Highly recommend those 5. Sabine is very good also, but she's harder to get. I like the idea of saving those guild store tokens for other heroes. Let's take a look at the store tokens that we're talking about, because this is where a lot of these heroes are going to be coming from other than the Cantina shipments. Right here, we've got the Cantina battle store. Right there on the top of the list, you can see Chopper. Very useful. He's part of the Phoenix Squadron. Get them. But my recommendation is to go for Boba Fett first. Very, very solid. Guild store. Now, this is a hard way of getting things. It takes a long time. There's a lot of good characters in here, but the most important character, in my opinion, is Rex. Get Rex out of here. You can get 5 Rex shards for every 400 tokens. That's going to reset a couple times a day. You can see that it refreshes on mine in about 5 hours. Sabine, Maul, and also Rey is in here. Rey is also very solid. Next, we have the Squad Arena store. You see Kanan Jarrus up there, part of the Phoenix Squadron. Princess Leia, which I also said was a very good attacker. Plus, you have your 2 fleet commanders in here, Grand Moff Tarkin and Admiral Akbar. So a lot of good choices right there. And then lastly, the Galactic War store, which most of my tokens in the Galactic War store actually went for these ships, because you're going to need the ships. But you've got your Zeb, part of the Phoenix Squadron. And then also down here, you've got part of the Danger Zone, the Wigs, Biggs Darklighter, who is ridiculously good. Just wanted to thank everybody for all the support in the last videos, and I hope you liked this video today. And if you did like this video, you're in luck. For every single person that likes this video today, you will be getting a free 8-star Darth Jar Jar Binks put into your account within 24 hours. This is not a scam. All jokes aside, really do appreciate all the support, and as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.